सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वसुदेवसुतं देवम्
वसुदेवसुतं देवम्
कंसचाणूरमर्दनम्
कंसचारूढमर्दनम्
देवकी परमानन्दम्
देवकी परमानन्दम्
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु।
I will say the 12th shloka of 12th chapter, which is the summary of the teaching. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानम् अभ्यासात्
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ध्यानाध्यानम् विशिष्यते
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागात् शान्ति अनन्तरम्.
त्यागात् शान्ति अनन्तरम्.
And this is the spiritual journey, abhyas to shanti. That's the goal. And now we'll say that the 7th shloka of 2nd chapter, which is Arjun's prarthana, which is our prarthana too. Karpanya dosho upahat svabhavah
कार्पण्यदोषो उपहस्वभावः
prachami tvam dharma sammudachetah
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः।
yat shreyasat nishchitam brūhi tanme
यक्षेयस्या निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे।
shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam.
शिष्यस्तेऽहं ध्याधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्।
So Arjuna is saying, Bhagavan, I am deluded, I am confused about my swadharma and the goal also. What should I do in this situation? Or maybe the right choice in this situation, which we all face many times. So, but the one thing he says, Arjuna was smart. He said, I surrender to you. I don't want to. He gave all the logic, but then he said, it's better I surrender to you. You teach me. And that is the quality of a shishya. That's what he says, Shishyasteham. Shishya means the one who is ready for the seek. That's what the Sikh word also has come from. Ready for the learning from the teacher. So Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tam Prapanna. Shadhi means like buddhi. So direct my buddhi towards Shreyas. Nishreyas Syat Nishchitam Bruhitan. Tell me what is Shreyas for me conclusively. Nishchitam. And then guide me. So answer to that Arjun's prayer is Bhagavad Gita. We all get the conflict. We all get sometime what is the right choice. Here's the answer. And that's what we read Bhagavad Gita again and again and again. And there is no one, like, it's not a pill. You take the pill and you're done. It is the learning. And that's our tradition is learning. Actually, we have to soak into learning. But how it happens? Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Shravanam means you have to listen again and again. And then Mananam means we have to regurgitate the teaching. And then Nididhyasanam. Then Nididhyasanam is the teaching should go deep inside and become my vritti. Vritti is in yoga term, we say vritti or our character. So that's so Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. But we have to keep doing it. We are human beings and we all know that we are driven by the guna. That's what we are talking about. So we keep doing it, but we go back to, it's like rubber stretching and it comes back to, so every day we come back to the same. And that's the reason we have to read. That's the reason it is suggested to do 3 times the Sandhya Vandanam or whatever. Prarthana Puja, we have to do multiple times during the day, not only 3 times, but at least 3 times is suggested, but it is constant practice. It's like that. So that's what that whole answer to that prayer. And Bhagavan says, here is the answer. So we are on 18th chapter, which is Moksha Sannyas Yoga, the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And this chapter is basically a summary of the entire teaching. Bhagavan is going to bring back all those principles which he talked about in previous chapters, and then going to just present in a different way, but the same principles are same, the fundamentals teaching. And ideally there are only two principles basically. There is a karma, there is a gyan, that's it. So second chapter is gyan, third chapter is karma, rest everything is built on those. So that's what he's going to just bring it again back and going to just elaborate more. So that's what this chapter is called, Moksha Sannyas Yoga. Moksha means the freedom, and freedom from what? So Arjun was tied or entangled by the delusion. So it is the freedom from the delusion. That's what his question, just guide me. And the guidance is get the freedom from what entanglement or bandhan, we call it. So that's called moksha. It's not just that the Shastrot moksha somewhere is going. We are not going anywhere. We are just here. And then sannyas is the practice. And sannyas, we again talked about that sannyas is not that ashram sannyas, which we see the sannyas. That is also the same purpose. But here we are like Grahast, and Bhagavan is talking to Grahast, Arjun. And he is a warrior. He has to finish a job. So he's not, and Arjun said that sannyas means, can I go run away? He said, no, you cannot go away. You have to do this. Right? And so that's why it is very relevant to us. So sannyas is nothing but it is a practice. And then again, definition of sannyas, yo na dveshti na kankshati. Jisko raga dvesh. Better word is raga dvesh. And raga dvesh is simple English translation is likes and dislikes. That's the best actually. राग द्वेष में बहुत थोड़ी philosophy आती है, but dislike is easy to understand. So like is rag means conditioning. Also rag Sanskrit word, रंग जाने को भी इसे बोलते हैं राग रंग. So when you are conditioned by something, it is rag. So conditioned by what? Conditioned by desire for something, and that something takes my consciousness over, and then that is like. That's what we like. I like only red color, or I like white color, or I like this food. This is all rag because I am attached to that. If I don't get that, I'm kind of a little upset. And same, there is a dislike, dvesh. I don't like this thing. There is a dislike. And that is, so sannyasi's quality is, sannyasi neither has rag or dvesh. Sannyasi is seeing things, accepting things as it is. एक्चुअली हम लोग अभी जब भी पढ़ाते हैं दूसरे क्लासेस में, इवन लीडरशिप प्रोग्राम्स आल्सो और मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर, एवरीबॉडी सेज टेक थिंग्स एज इट इज. वो द सेम थिंग इज सन्यासी की क्वालिटी है कि यू डोंट बिकम जजमेंटल. दे से दैट just if whatever is there, present it in front of you. If you don't want, I mean, it's okay, but you don't have to judge this is right, this is wrong, this is. And that's what Bhagavan is saying. And that's Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. There is a shlok in second chapter, yeah. Buddhi yukto jahati ho ubhe sukrata duskrate tasmat yoga yujasva yoga karma sukoshalam. Making the right decision in that is skill and karma, because we all do karma. That's what we are going to talk about. And there is another shlok, right? Buddhi योगस्थ कुरु कर्माणि संगम त्यक्ता धनंजय सिद्ध सिद्धयो समो भूत्वा समत्वम योग उच्यते. You are equipoised in whether this is the thing which I wanted, I got it. Siddh, asiddha means I didn't get it. In case of sadhana also, like if we do sadhana, I go to mandir, or I go तीर्थ यात्रा, or I do some व्रत उपवास, still मन को शांति नहीं मिल रही है. Keep doing it. Don't say that, oh, this doesn't work. Abhyas. Because and then Praman is Shastra. If somebody tells, Shastra says, or Acharya says, Guru says, just do it. And that is what Samatvam Yoga, that is yoga, right? So that's what Bhagavan has already talked about. So the moksha is, sannyas is not, again, it's just Samatvam, equanimity. And so this chapter is that. So we were on, last time we saw there are, and this Bhagavan is telling everything has three types based on the Prakriti has 3 gun, 14 chapter. And I read 14 chapter a lot. I think my suggestion to everyone, read 14 chapter as much as, because 14 chapter gives us the lifestyle. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We are all driven by these because we are all made of Prakriti. And our acharyas or rishis, they were very smart. They figured out that Prakriti has three gun. It's made of three gun. Prakriti means nature, everything in the material world. And we are also made of the material world. So we get that quality, like inherent. I inherit my parents from my parents certain qualities because I am born of them. Same thing, we are born of Prakriti. And we eat the same thing, we breathe the same air, we drink the same water. That's why we all are, in that sense, we all have three qualities: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Sattva means when there is a harmony. When simple term, Sattva means whenever I feel good, I am in peaceful mood or I am in harmonious mood. That is Sattva is prominent or in my consciousness, or Sattva is more prominent in me. Means when I am more passionate or I want to do something, little frustration, stressed, and more anxiety, that is Rajas. So whenever we have more anxiety or we have more passion, or do this, I want to get this, Rajas is playing the dominant role. And when I am ignorant, I'm making mistakes, I'm lethargic, I'm lazy, I'm negative thoughts, then Tamas is dominant. And we all can experience that. There is nothing like rocket science. Same thing in Prakriti. There are simple example is food. There are some food we call it sattvic. So इसके लिए हम लोगों के यहाँ तो व्रत वगैरह होता है तो उस दिन eat sattvic food that day because your buddhi should be sattvic there. हमेशा ही सात्विक रहना चाहिए. Why only the व्रत day or Janmashtami day? Every day we should eat sattvic food. So we all know that if we eat sattvic, like fruits and vegetables and fresh food we eat, we feel healthy, right? If I do bhajan, and simple example is if you do bhajan with sattvic food, you have more joy. And that's why say मंदिर में वो प्याज हमारे यहाँ लहसुन मंदिर में मना करते हैं non-veg. The reason is because those are rajasic and tamasic food. If you eat that and do bhajan, I don't eat those things, but I know when you are not in sattvic mood, the joy of bhajan is not there. So that's the reason they say like whenever you're doing bhajan, try to be sattvic as much possible. Yeah, of course we are made of rajasic and it is in our DNA. So it is not one day you can change it. So that's what that 14th chapter. So last time we saw Bhagavan said there are three types of karma. And sattvic karma, rajasic karma, and tamasic karma. So sattvic karma is where it's like performed as a duty, as a swadharma. So in simple term, whenever I am doing swadharma in the sense, now again, swadharma, whenever the dharma word comes, we have to be very careful. The swadharma means everything is done for lok sangraha. The swa means, swa word is not for me. I am doing it for lok sangraha, for the well-being of all. That's the only goal of life. ये सब हम लोग अपने लिए करते हैं, but anything, both Gita says that or any other teaching. The goal of life is swadharma is well-being of all, lok sangraha. And that action is sattvic. When I am doing for lok sangraha, but when I'm doing for myself, there is a selfish desire in that, there is an ego, there is attachment to the results, then it is rajasic. But most of us fall in the rajasic category because this is modern world is like that. What is in me and then rajasic karma, there is a stress, there is a restlessness. We all know that. Whenever, and that is rajasic karma. We get tired also because I want to do something. Excessive effort. And tamasic means I'm ignorant, I make mistakes. In fact, I'm not careful about the consequences of that karma. It may harm me, it may harm others. And simple is that DUI. DUI is a simple example of that, right? That's why they put all the DUI not allowed. The reason is because if you are under influence, you are going to harm yourself, you are going to harm others also. So that's why we say like that drinking is tamasic. That, and if you are drinking and driving, you're doing a tamasic karma. This is a simple example. So that's we saw last time. So Bhagavan says that you have to be careful because this karma, and again the karma are based on three guna we have. Now that today we talked about, Bhagavan says based on the same three principles which we We say like Rajas and Sattva and Tamas. Sattva is purity, harmony. Rajas is passion, activity, and Tamas is ignorance or inertia. That's it. So in simple terms, whenever I am in mood of giving, it is Rajas. Whenever I am mood of getting, it is when giving, it is Sattva. Whenever I am in the mood of getting, it is Rajas. And whenever I am in the mood of snatching, it is Tamas. That's it. ये दुनिया में एक चल रहा है. तो with three types of people, कुछ लोग हैं, वैसे कम लोग हैं जो देने के लिए तैयार हैं, ज्यादातर लोग हैं जो लेने के लिए तैयार हैं, कुछ लोग जो छीनने को तैयार हैं. So it's like that. So and this we all get that, so we can feel, and that's what Bhagavan say, all three types of karma. Now he's going to talk about three types of karta, and karta is a very good principle of, I think, Hindu darshan or Hindu philosophy or whatever Hindu teaching has explained karma and karta the best in anywhere in the world. Other people also talk about doership, actor, but it is the karma and the karta very well explained by Hindu thought. So we'll just take, because third chapter is the karma yoga, so we'll just take one or two shlok from third chapter, which tells us about karta, the doer, actor. So there is a shlok, we'll just read fifth shlok of third chapter. Bhagavan already described that. Yeah. It's a very fundamental shlok, and it's a very, very important shlok from Bhagavad Gita. So fifth shlok of third chapter. And Bhagavan said, Nahi kaschat kshanapi, nahi
कश्चित् क्षणपि
kshanapi jatu tishtat akarma krat.
जातुतिष्ठय कर्मकृत्
Karyeti hi avasham karma, avashah karma.
कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म
Sarva prakriti jai gune.
सर्वप्रकृति जयगुणी. Surely none can ever remain inactive even for a moment, for everyone is helplessly driven to action by nature-born qualities.
See, this is a very beginning shlok of third chapter. And Bhagavan that time itself said, he brought that no one in this world can sit idle. No one. The reason is because prakriti jay gune, prakriti born out of prakriti gun, you will bound to act. Either you will do sattva or rajas or tamas. One of three will be there. If I am sleeping, that is tamas, and that prakriti makes her sleep. That is also karma. Sleeping is also a karma. So Bhagavan says, none of you. And Arjuna was saying that, why do we do this karma? Like Gyan, if it is knowing. He said that the reason is because you're bound to do. So that means you're bound to be a karta, doer. Because there is no choice here. So there are a lot of time people say, I mean, there is explanation that I don't want to be karta, sakshi, but this part will clear us that confusion, that what is sakshi and what is karta. So karta, there is no choice. Whatever is happening, last time we saw that the kriya, everything is a kriya. The moment there is a doer added to that, it becomes karma. So Bhagavan is saying karma hoga hi sahi. So you're bound to. So you're sleeping. There's no choice, right? You're eating. Eating is a karma because based on sattva rajas. So prakriti makes you to work. So there is no way you can say that I don't want to be karta. There's no choice. We all have to work. So that even sannyasis, even Arjuna says, I'll take sannyas. So Bhagavan says, okay, even sannyasis has to do some karma. So even if you take sannyas, you are going to do some karma. So why not do your swadharma? So there is a 27th sloka of the third chapter, because these are related to karta. That's what I'm reading, right? 27th sloka of third chapter. It's another fundamental sloka about the same. Prakrate kriyamanani
प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि
guneha karmani sarvashah
गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः
ahankar vimudatma
अहङ्कारविमूढात्मा
karta aham iti manyate.
कर्ता अहमिति मन्यते. All actions are being performed by the mode of Prakriti. The fool whose mind is deluded by egoism thinks I am the doer.
Yeah, so now it says that you're bound to do karma, but you're not doing it. It is Prakriti. You think I'm doing it. So this is a very, very nice look. Ahankar Vimudatma. Vimud means, again, deluded. Mudta means deluded. In delusion, you think I'm doing it. It is all happening. Everything is, and that's what there is a like term used, determinism. There is a concept of determinism, which is not very popular in our Eastern but Western philosopher. And determinism is everything is prescripted, and we call it the prarabdha हमारे यहाँ बड़ा well defined prarabdha. So whatever, like, I don't have choice to be born in this set of parents. I don't have a choice to be born as male or female. I don't have a choice to be born in India or America. I don't have choice. So that's what they say, like, it is all prarabdha driven. So based on that, the karma is also decided. Based on wherever I'm born as Indian, American, doesn't matter wherever. So now you're thinking you are doing it. It's all happening. Ahankar Vimudatma. So Bhagavan says Prakriti sab kara rahi hai. But now that's where the question a lot of people ask, that if sab kuch Prakriti kara hai, what about the free will? There is a free will question comes all the time. So there are a lot of discussion on free will. But the simple is that we are given a buddhi, not animals don't have a choice. Agar chimpanzee is trained to drink the coke in circus, chimpanzee can do it. Circus में उसको train कर दिया तो chimpanzee will come, take a coke bottle रखी हुई है, and then we clap chimpanzee. But chimpanzee has never said that today I want to drink coffee. वो तो chimpanzee is conditioned to drink coke, वो कर लिया है. Chimpanzee doesn't have the buddhi choice, free will. But a human being will be there and say, oh, I have been drinking coffee for all these days. Can I have a coffee? Oh, that is actually simple term. That is the free will. The choice. You may get coffee or not. That is not in your hand. That is called destiny. But you have a choice to ask, भाई मेरे को coffee मिल जाएगी क्या? Chimpanzee doesn't. And that's the difference between human being and animals. The plant doesn't have a choice that I want to grow big or not. If you put more water, more for plant will be taller. If no, plant will. But yeah, human has a choice. No, I want to build. I can go to gym and make a build body build, which is strongest out. Yeah, you have a choice. You may get hurt, or different story. That's what the karta is like. Bhagavan say ki you are not a karta. You're confused, but you have to do the karma. That is no choice. I don't want to do the karma. That's the reason 47 shlok is very famous. Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. Ma karma phal hetur bhuma mate sangasto akarmani. He's saying you have right, you have a duty to do karma. You have no control over the result. You are not even the cause of the result. At the same time, you cannot run away from the akarmani. You have no choice to say, I don't want to do. So look at that. You are bound to do. And that's why we are born in whatever condition. So that's what this karta is a very important term. So we'll see shlok number 26. The three types of karta Bhagavan is going to define. Right? So first is sattvic karta. Mukta sango ahanam vadi.
Mukta sango ahanam vadi.
Dratyu utsaha samanvitaha. 26 shlok.
26 sloks, 18th chapter.
18th chapter, yes. Dratyu utsaha samanvitaha.
Dratyu utsaha samanvitaha.
Siddha siddhyo nirvikaraha.
Sirva siddhyo nirvikaraha.
Karta सात्विक उच्चते.
कर्ता सात्विक उच्चते. फल को कामना से रहित, अहंकार शून्य, धैर्य और उत्साह वाला तथा कार्य की सिद्धि में निर्विकार रहने वाला कर्ता ही सात्विक कहलाया जाता है.
Yeah, so now one thing we talked about, that everybody is a karta. But here the problem Bhagavan says in the 27th shlok, 3rd chapter, that you are just an instrument. There is another shlok, very famous. Bhagavan says, Tasmat uttishtha yasho labasva jitva shatrum bhunksh rajyam samardham. Arjun, get up and fight, win the war, and enjoy the kingdom. But at the same next line he says, Maye veta nihata purvameva. All these people are already जो enemies हैं, ये सब खेल पहले हो चुका है. मये वेता मीन्स मैंने, मतलब भगवान इज नॉट कृष्ण भगवान, बट नियति हैज ऑलरेडी प्लान कि कौन जीतेगा. क्योंकि अर्जुन ने पूछा था, हमें पता नहीं कि हम जीतेंगे या ये जीतेंगे. तो भगवान से फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट. You just get up, do your best. And then Maye Veta Nihta Purumeva Nimitta Matram Bhava Savyasachin. Nimitta Matram just be the instrument. You just follow the script given to you. Don't, but that means there is no choice of not being a Karta. The only choice is that what type of Karta I can be. And that's what there are three types Bhagavan is defined. These are again based on the same 14th chapter, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. If I have Sattva Bhav, I'll be a Sattvic Karta. And that's what Bhagavan is saying. So he is giving the quality of Sattvic Karta. So Bhagavan, so he's saying Mukta Sangha. First quality of that, he is free from attachment to what? Again, to the karma phal. Of course, to karma also. See, sometimes we are very attached to karma also. This is my duty. Like, sometimes there are some volunteers, many places, if you give them a job, say for example, serving the water, and somebody said, don't do, no, this is my job, I'll do that. वो बड़े पैशनेट हो जाते हैं सेवा को लेके भी. So they saying, this person is not attached to even karma. Forget about karma phal to होना ही नहीं है. Even karma not mukta sang. Anhamvadi means I am doing. Aham means I am doing. This is very simple. हम कुछ काम करने जाते हैं, I am doing it. That भाव अंदर से नहीं होना चाहिए. करता तो you are there. There is no choice. But I am not doing it. It's just happening. So that's what, like, that kavita I always remember, right? કે આ અહીં પહોંચ્યા પછી એટલું સમજાય છે, કોઈ કંઈ કરતું નથી, આ બધું તો થાય છે. It is happening. And that's why we say that it's not about doing, it is just join the happening. So that's what that anhamvadi. I'm not doing it, it is just happening. But at the same time, this person is not, there's a dhrati utsaha. This is cheerful person. I mean, always, because otherwise, ऐसा नहीं कि जब, I mean, I'm not attached to karma, I'm not attached to karma phal, then what is the joy? No, he's very joyful. Bhagavan says, the dhrati and perseverance, keep doing it. Even if I fail, do it again with full enthusiasm and joy. That's what the quality of a sattvic karma. So उत्साह का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप मतलब you are boasting, you want to be, but same time anhamvadi and mukta sang. I'm not attached to karma, and I don't have that feeling of I am doing it, that ego, we say that. But the same utsaha, like for example, Shankaracharya ka example हम देते हैं. I mean, he traveled from one corner of Bharat to all four corners at the young age. And that time there was like no transport and everything. But he wanted to do that. I want to establish Vedantic teaching. And Vivekananda, or many acharyas हमारे भारत में, they had full utsaha. Otherwise, perseverance or bina utsaha, they cannot do that. But you see, many of our writings, there's nobody's written as the author. I mean, they just write things. They used to compile things. तुलसीदास जी ने इतनी बड़ी रामायण लिख दी, किसी ने पूछा, बोले मैंने तो अपने स्वांतः सिपाही के लिए लिखा था, सब लोग पढ़ लेंगे तो अच्छा है, नहीं तो कोई बात नहीं. बट परसिवरेंस, इतना तकलीफ थी तुलसीदास जी को, बट जॉय. अदरवाइज यू कैनॉट. अभी आज भी वी रीड रामचरितमानस और हनुमान चालीसा और सुंदरकांड एंड वी गेट द जॉय. If Tulsidas ji didn't have that joy, sattvic, we would not have enjoyed his creation. So that is this sattvic karta. And then he says, nirvikara, siddha siddhyo, same shlok. If it is happen or it doesn't happen, result, talking about result. This person is nirvikara, means he is not affected by that. Vikara means affection or the change. This person's consciousness, the mood doesn't change, basically, in simple term mood. हमारा तो mood खराब हो जाता है. काम नहीं अच्छा हुआ तो I am not in, अच्छा हो गया तो I am in very good mood today. I did. This person doesn't matter. अच्छा हो गया तो भी ठीक है, नहीं हुआ तो भी ठीक है. what, and so what is like that. And that karta is sattvic. Bhagavan says that karta is sattvic uchyate. So 4 qualities basically. He's not attached to the karma itself, not ego that I am doing. He has utsthar, perseverance, and utsah. And then, of course, siddha, nirvikara, 5 qualities. And that is sattvic. So, anyway, for us, why we read Bhagavad Gita, we have to judge ourselves based on these qualities. It's like a gauge given to us. We should find out during the day this happens to me or not. If not, means yeah, it was not sattvic bhav I'm doing. So next comes the rajasic karta. In fact, sattvic is the reason is because we are all doing all this satsang, everything for spiritual progress. So sattvic means one step before the manzil. It's like that. गीता भगवान ने अर्जुन को 6 चैप्टर भगवान ने पूछा, अर्जुन ने पूछा था कि 14 चैप्टर में गुण के बाद क्या, उन्होंने गुणातीत भव अर्जुन. Finally, you have to transcend. So, the purpose is to transcend the karma also. And so that means it's just happening. Transcend the karma. That's the goal. So even go beyond sattvic, and that is called sakshi. So there's a lot of confusion. People have karta and sakshi. Sakshi is the one who has transcended that stage of sattvic, and now he or she has become sakshi, and that is the ultimate goal. But that happens. I mean, nobody can guarantee one. There is no prescription. There is no formula for that कि कब होगा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि 10 kg you do this, no. It can happen any day to anyone, any time, but keep doing it. That is sadhan. So sattvic ke baad we can transcend that sattvic also. That's the ultimate, right? Then you then you become jivan mukt basically. So now the next one is the rajasic karta. Ragi karma phala prepsu.
Ragi karma phala prepsu.
Lubdho hinsatmako shuchih.
Lubdho hinsatmako shuchi.
Harsha shokanvitah karta.
Harsha shokanvitah karta.
Rajasah parikirtitah.
राजसः परिकीर्तित. कर्म में आसक्त, कर्म फल की कामना करने वाला, विषयों में आसक्त, हिंसा प्रिय, शुचिहीन तथा हर्ष और शोक युक्त कर्ता राजसिक कहलाता है.
So again, same. Now he is describing, and most of us fall into rajas, because if we remember that one of the fundamental shlok of 3rd chapter is that Arjuna asked Bhagwan, I understand when Bhagwan is explaining ki karma kya hai, gyan kya hai, he said, I understand everything. But what is that driving us in spite of this understanding? What is making us to do wrong? I know what is right, what is wrong. Now you told me. But what is that? So the answer to that 37th shlok of 3rd chapter, Bhagwan says, Kam esh krodh esh. अर्जुन ने पूछा था काम क्रोध क्यों होता है. आई अंडरस्टैंड. 2nd चैप्टर में भगवान ने बता दिया था कि क्रोधात भवति सम्मोह, सम्मोहत स्मृति विभ्रम, स्मृति भ्रंशात बुद्धिनाशो, बुद्धिनाशात प्रणश्यति. क्रोध, we all know that, right? Krodh is an emotion which, and there is a saying, lot of saying that krodh is the fire which burns myself. I bring the fire within myself and it burns myself. That's krodh is that dangerous. But we still get angry. And what happens in anger, Gita explains very well, 2nd chapter, that after krodh, you are deluded. Nobody in this world says that when I am angry, I was in my full consciousness. Nobody in this world. No one. Even little kid. I'm angry, I am not the same person. My consciousness is deluded. That's why the whole anger comes. And then buddhi nashat. Bhagwan कहते हैं 2nd chapter में कि when you're deluded, you lose the buddhi, the discriminative power. That's why many times we do wrong thing in krodh. That everybody knows, right? So, and that there is a buddhi nashat pranashyati. So Bhagwan says buddhi nashat pranashyati, and after that you forget the goal. Once your buddhi is lost, you don't know where are you going. What is the purpose of life? All we can design the whole purpose of life. घरों में सब लिख लेते हैं हम लोग बड़ा बड़ा. But when I am angry, then nothing works. So that's what Bhagavan is saying कि राग, तो अर्जुन ने जब पूछा था तो राजसी, तो भगवान बता रहे काम एश क्रोधेश रजोगुण समद्भव. The culprit is rajogun which comes from rajas. So that this is the karta Bhagavan talking about. Rajogun samadbhava maha ashnaha maha papma vetti enam verinam. You treat rajogun or kam krodh born as an enemy. Varinam means they are your enemy. They are like thieves. They steal your consciousness away, and we all know that, right? So that's what he's defining. So first, this person, how do you judge? How do we judge ourselves as a rajas karta? कर्म फल प्रेप्सु. पहली तो उसकी इच्छा है कि कर्म फल मिलना चाहिए मुझे. वॉट एवर आई एम डूइंग, आई शुड गेट द रिजल्ट. एंड दिस फॉल्स लाइक मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड टुडे फॉल इन दिस कैटेगरी. तो पहले तो कर्म फल प्रेप्सु मीन्स आई वांट द कर्म. देयर इज अ डिजायर फॉर द कर्म. Then lubd. See, there is a saying, when need is fulfilled again and again and again, it becomes greed. Need becomes greed when it is fulfilled again and again as I become. So that's a lobh means greed. So he says the next step, जब कर्म फल पूरे होते जाते हैं तो लोभ पड़ता जाता है. Lob means greed, more and more and more. And then he says hinsatmaka. This person become violent. He is not like we see today's corporate world, the competitive world. It's a violence kind of like it's a very subtle, but it's a corporate violence. We say that. So because I need more, it's my share. So you become violent because you hurt. Violent means hurting others. Ashuchi means is not it's impure person. My behavior will become impure because I want to like same snatch things from others. Right? Harsha shokanvita. Ye again is delighted, elation or depression. अगर हो गया तो आई एम हैविंग अ पार्टी, throwing a party and dancing. नहीं हुआ तो sitting, shut the door and I am in depression. So हर्षोकान्वितः कर्सा राजतः परकीति, ऐसा कर्ता राजस कहा जाता है. So what? First is कर्म फल, second is the greed, more and more, third is the harming others, हिंसात्मक. Ashuchi means impure or like unethical behavior. We can say we do that. Karta, rajas karta do that. And harshokan means that either elation or depression. Either you will just celebrate or you went to depression. That is rajas karta. So why Bhagavan is saying here? Because Arjun is asking, what should I do? So Bhagavan is saying you have to do karma, but be careful with this. If these are the intention, these are the content of your karma, then there is a problem here. What happens? And we saw in the 14th chapter. 14th chapter again, that's very fundamental. Rajas and Karma and Sattva Guna, there's one pie. If you remember that there are 3 slices. It is our choice to make which slice bigger. Rajas, Sattva or Tamas. Our choice. Some will be there. All 3 are required. But the tendency of Rajas to go towards Tamas. तो कबीरदास जी का एक दोहा है, जल की मन की एक गति. जल की मन की गति means the direction they flow into. जल की tendency of flowing. जल की मन की एक गति नीचे ही को जाए. जल को आप छोड़िए नीचे ही जाएगा. और मन भी ऐसा ही है, मन को नीचे जाना होता है. मतलब रजस से तमस की तरफ जल्दी जाएगा वो. सत्व की तरफ बड़ी मेहनत लगती है. ये सत्संग करना पड़ेगा, गीता क्लास और कुछ पढ़ेंगे, कुछ करेंगे, बहुत एफर्ट लगाना पड़ता है. लेकिन अभी हैप्पी आवर इज वेरी इजी. जस्ट गो $5. दे आर सेइंग कम हियर 5 सो जल की मन की एक गति नीचे ही को जाए, इनको ऊपर राखिए कोटिन कीन उपाय. Thousands of effort you have to put to keep them up. अगर वाटर से डैम बनाना है, if you have to stop water, you have to put a lot of effort to stop water. That's why building a dam is a huge civil engineering project because you have to stop the water. क्योंकि उसको जाना नहीं चाहिए. Exactly कबीरदास जी का मन भी उतना ही पावरफुल है. मन के अगर आसपास डैम बनाना है, you have to be very powerful. इंद्रिय निग्रह जिसको हम बोलते हैं 2nd चैप्टर में. Indriya Nigra is sense control. Mind comes under sense, right? So that's a very, very powerful technique. उनको रजस सत्व की तरफ ले जाना बड़ा कठिन है, क्योंकि रजस सत्व तमस की तरफ जाना आसान है. So then that's what Bhagavan said. Now we see the tamas, the last one, karta. Ayuktah prakritah stabdha
अयुक्तः प्राकृतः स्तब्धः
shato nashkatikah alasah
शठो नैष्कृतिको आलसः
vishadi dirgha sutri cha
विषादिसूत्री च
karta tamas uchyate.
कर्ता तामस्य उच्यते। अनुचित कार्य प्रिय, स्वभाव के अनुसार चेष्टा युक्त, अनम्र, शठ, दूसरे का अपमान करने वाला, आलसी, शोकमग्न और दीर्घ सूत्री कर्ता तामसिक कहलाता है।
You have English part, you can read English if you want. Then we'll go for this. Oh, that's fine. I can do the English part, right? So ayukta means he's unsteady. Yukta means integrated. That's why yoga word has come. And we always say yukti shabd use karte Hindi mein. Yukti means something which is very integrated, properly done. Ayukt, this person has no integration of his karta, his thought, his action. So it is ayukt, right? Unsteady. And then he says prakritah. There is a shabd called prakriti. You see, prakrit means Sanskrit or Prakrit. Prakrit means actually as it is. It is not refined, unrefined, we can say. And in simple, in this term, it is uneducated, unvalued person, doesn't know the value. That is a Prakrit. So उसी का था संस्कृत, सुकृत. जो संस्कृत का हमारा मतलब होता है cultured. So uncultured, right? Stabdha means unbending, not bending, not deviating. It's very stubborn. Shatah, dhurt means, of course, like cunning or dishonest or cheater, like right? Nashkati, malicious. He'll snatch things from others. That Nashkati. Vishadi, शोक करने वाला. So भगवान को विषाद बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं. That is first chapter is अर्जुन विषाद योग. भगवान ने अर्जुन को शुरू में ही बोला था, राइट, कि ये विषाद से तो विषाद का मतलब है सेम अगेन. विषाद में डिप्रेशन और डिस्ट्रेस्ड. So distressed person cannot do the right thing. And then alasi, alasah shabd, alasi Sanskrit ka shabd hai. Alasi means lazy. And dirgha sutri, procrastinating, something which can be done with speed. This person takes a longer time because he is not doing the right way. अभी आजकल तो AI वगैरह आ गया, तो we know things are done very fast. That's why we use AI. Something I was doing in 10 hours, AI can do in 1 hour, because it is not AI is doing something. It is well-designed program which is doing. It is Susanskrit program. Prakrit means randomly. So you cannot use any app for anything. If I have to use, for example, direction ke liye, so I use GPS, right? So not any app, but if I use proper GPS for direction, I'll use it. If I use some app, I cannot use bank app for direction. So that's what this person procrastinate means do the wrong way. And that is tamas. But the bottom line is that because this person is ajnani, this person is deluded, he or she is going to do all these things. Cheating, and then unoffending and stubborn, unbending, malicious, दूसरों का some intentions are wrong, harm someone. And that is tamas karta. Anyway, so the purpose is not to Arjun to become despondent, Vishad to despondency. Vishad se Arjun ko bahar laye. That's the reason Bhagavad Gita is said. So Bhagavan said that is tamas. So there are 3 types of karma, 3 types of karta, but again it is driven by the quality which is inherent in us. We are made of prakriti. The challenge here is that ये सब बाहर की किसी की description नहीं है ये, and these are not theoretical, these are very practical things. It is all within me. If I have more sattva gun, automatically I belong to sattva karta. If I have more rajogun, I belong to the rajas karta. If I have more tamogun, I am tamas karta. That's why हमारे the food में भी इसीलिए सात्विक, राजसिक, तामस very important, because food is part of me. It makes me, make my character, and that based on that this karta. So again, our goal is to sattvic karta. So I have a very, very nice poem, like song, which describes that Sattvic Karta. And again, purpose of Sattvic, anything, the purpose, like Rajasic, Tamasic, तो हमें होना ही नहीं है. We have to rise that. That's why Bhagavan has said, do and don'ts kind of thing. So don't do these things. We have to become Rajasic and Sattvic and go even transcend Sattvic also. That's the goal. So there is a beautiful, हम लोग एक भाव गीत है, that is in Sanskrit, but that describes this Sattvic Karta. And the purpose of Sattvic Karta is again Lok Sangrah, then only Sattvic Karta. Otherwise, 14th chapter में it says even Sattvagun also binds. Sattvagun का अभिमान सबसे ज्यादा खतरनाक होता है. And that's what we see. The people who are educated, who are more knowledgeable, if they have ego, they're more dangerous than the person who is ignorant. Because that educated person's ego is very dangerous, because he or she knows how to manipulate. And that's what we see in today's world, right? Educated people are manipulating things. It doesn't matter it is a priest or knowledgeable person, but they can manipulate, right? So it's very dangerous. So that's what the goal of Sattvic also, our goal should be transcend Sattvic, Lokitam. So there is a wonderful, I'll give you a few lines and then we'll do our dhyana, right? And then next time we'll meet, we'll talk about 3 types of Gyan and 3 types of Buddhi also. So Karta and Karma, we saw that. So the song, if you're not heard, I'll send it, but beautiful, right? Manasa Sattatam Smaraniyam Vachasa Sattatam Vadaniyam Lokahitam Mama Karaniyam Lokahitam Mama Karaniyam. What is saying that Manasa Sattatam Smaraniyam. Constantly I have one thought in my mind, Smaraniyam. Smaran मतलब वही जिसको याद करना. Constantly I remind myself. Vachasa Sattatam Vadaniyam. Constantly whatever I say in my thoughts, that Vadaniyam, Lokhitam Mama Karaniyam. All my karma should be for Lokhit. Lokhitam Mama Karaniyam. Na Bhog Bhavane Ramaniyam. Na cha Sukha Shayaner Shayaniyam. Ahar Nisham Jagaraniyam. Lokhitam Mama Karaniyam. The song says, Na Bhog Bhavane Ramaniyam. मुझे भोग जो भी है उसमें आनंद नहीं आता है, क्योंकि द भोग ब्रिंग्स मी डाउन. न सुख शयने शयनियम. शयन में सुख ज्यादा नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि ज्यादा सोना इज तामसिक. आपको देखा होगा, हम लोग वी ऑल नो दैट whenever we have a target something. If I have to take a flight in the morning, but that's a very rude Rajasic example. But if I have a flight, वो हम लोग अलार्म लगा के पहले उठ जाते हैं. अलार्म के पहले I'll get up, because there is a goal. Just imagine this person, the Rajasattvic person, सबका होना चाहिए. The goal is something Lokhitam. Somebody else is getting. Then the Rajas and Tamas will not hold me, because the goal is Lokhitam. Then he said, Na jatu dukkham gananiyam, na cha nija saukhyam mananiyam. He says, I am not counting my miseries or my dukh. I am not counting those. Typically, Rajas or person is, अरे मुझे इतना दुख है, मुझे इतना दुख है. There was one person, he came to Bharat. I think it was Raman Maharshi, I don't remember, but some Swamiji, and from Western person. And she, some lady from Germany, and she said that I'm suffering. He said, what is your suffering? He's suffering that my son committed suicide, young son, 22-year-old. What else can be worse for me? My son, he was under drugs and all those things, and he committed. So this suffering doesn't go away. So what is the solution? Same thing happened with Buddha. There is a story. So the only solution that I think Raman Maharshi or some one Acharya, I forgot, right? So they said that the only solution is because your son cannot be brought back. Of course, your dukh is so. The only way is what he's saying, na jatu dukkham gananiyam. अपने दुख की जगह दूसरों के दुख, किसी और का दुख काउंट करना शुरू कर दो जो आपसे ज्यादा दुखी हो. That is the only solution. And she said that nobody has told me that. Everybody was trying to help me to overcome this grief. There is no way I can overcome grief. The only way I can, किसी के 2 बच्चे चले गए तब मुझे लगेगा ओह, so that's what he's saying, न जातु दुखम गणनीयम न निज सौख्यम मननीयम। मैं अपना सुख काउंट नहीं करूं, दूसरे का सुख काउंट करूं, दूसरे का दुख काउंट करूं, and then that is lok hitam mam karaniyam. Then only my karma will be for lok hit. I'll transcend that. Actually, sattva gun, sattvic karta also we have to transcend, right? So very nice. Like last line, it says, "Gahanaranye gharantakare bandhu janaya sthita ghavare tatra maya sancharaniyam lok hitam mam." There are a lot of people living in the darkness. A lot of people not. We sing this song for Ekal also, right? A lot of people have need. So can I do tatra maya sancharaniyam? Can my action bring something in their life? And lokitam mam karaniyam. And that's where we can transcend the sattva. Otherwise sattva भी बांधता है, 14th chapter very clearly. सत्व में भी फिर वो अहंकार आ जाएगा और फिर सब वो you become rajas. It is disguise. Sometimes सत रजस disguise and become सत्व. हमें ऐसा लगता है कि हम बहुत कुछ अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, but it is a disguise. सत्व is playing the game, and that's why 14th chapter says ये तीनों गुण अंदर अंदर गेम चलता रहता है. तो सत्व and rajas are, tamas are very smart. They'll disguise and we feel like, oh, I'm doing meditation, maybe I'm sleeping in the meditation. I'm sitting in meditation, but andar andar so gaye. So the tamas takes over. So we have to be very careful, and that is the sadhan that we have to cross. So the only way is that lokhitam mama karaniyam. That if the goal is lokhit, then I can do that. Otherwise, बार बार वही मन की जल की एक गति नीचे ही को जाए, वो नीचे ही जाएगा. इनको ऊंचा राखिए कोटिन कीन उपाय. बड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, लेकिन सबसे आसान मेहनत है भगवान का नाम. दैट इज द इजीएस्ट मेहनत. समर्पण जो अर्जुन ने किया, शिष्यस्ते हम शादी मामता भगवान को अच्छी टीच को, जिसको जो भगवान को नहीं मानते हैं, गुड टीचिंग. इट्स नॉट जस्ट भगवान पर से. दैट इज द ओनली वे we can overcome these things. So with that, we'll just sit for our dhyan. And now look at that, right? Now we know that after all this discussion, which is mostly sattvic, right? When we prakriti gun, right? We say that all 5 senses are made of prakriti, 5 elements are made of prakriti, and they are disturbing me. They are inside me because they are inside. So the goal is to reduce, and at a certain point, when we just reduce prakriti, all then man becomes shant. Because man is, all 3 guna are just playing, disturbing the man. Then only the reflection of Sakshi Chaitanya, which is my personality, comes on mind. And then I realize, oh, I'm not this body, I'm not this prakriti, I am that Sakshi Chaitanya. That is dhyan, basically. So let's sit on that, right? Sit for dhyan. Oh. Keep the focus on the tip of the nostril and bring image of Prithvi Tattva. Prithvi is Prakriti. Now let's all these Tattva are made of Prakriti. The next element is Jal. So keep the focus on the tip of the tongue and keep the image of Jal Tattva. The next element is Agni or Urja, which is energy. So Surya Bhagwan is the best representative of Agni. So keep the focus on the eyes, because through eyes we see the Agni or the Urja. So keep the focus on eyes, bring image of Surya Bhagwan. Next tattva or element is Vayu. So all the rest of the 3 we can see, we can touch also, but Vayu we cannot see, we cannot touch, we can only feel Vayu. So Vayu we can feel on the skin. Skin is the 4th sense organ, Indriya, Tvacha we call it. So just keep the focus on the skin, Tvacha, and feel the Vayu on the skin. If it is inside, still we can feel. If it is outside, we can feel very well that we cannot see, but I feel Vayu. And the next element is Akash, which is space. Space we cannot feel, touch, we cannot see, nothing can be done. The only way we know there is a space because sound travels in a space. So keep the focus on ears and try to hear some sound. If you're home, I mean, there is a technique here I'll just share in 30 seconds. So if you have and I can send that there's there's a meditation bell, or you can play some song, right? Some soothing guitar, or I mean, we have or classical. Play some classical instrument song, and just follow that sound. Don't think that it is a guitar or it is this rag or that. Just follow the sound, pure sound. You can play guitar, just follow that sound, and we feel that when we are following the sound, we can feel that space. There's only thing is a space because sound travels in space, and I am in that space. The space is inside me, outside me. We are all in the same space. It's like one space. And now one says, think that you are not those five elements outside. You are not those five senses through which you feel them. You are not the mind behind these five senses. When these five senses are shut down, the mind has very limited, almost sometimes no thought. And that time, observe the mind. And the one who's observed the mind is that Sakshi Chaitanya, awareness, pure awareness. And we in this time, we can feel that presence of that awareness. Mind is the place for us to feel. And that's what our Rishi said, Tattvamasi, you are that. Not these elements, not this Prakriti, not the Prakriti Guna. You're that Sakshi Chaitanya. And Bhagavan says, Yukta Asita Matpara. Sit in this state as long as possible. Matpara means I am the ultimate, the goal. The Paraham is the aim, goal. And nothing but you Tattvamasi, you and me are same at this stage, right? So I am that awareness. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Holy Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki Jai. So yeah, we'll continue next time with the